Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Hello, Catholic pilgrims. Congratulations on finishing Book 3 today. We are making headway and learning a lot from the Doctor. So let's jump in by opening to page 69 and reading from Book 3, Chapter 12. I remember that in the meantime you gave her another answer to her prayers, though there is much besides this that escapes my memory, and much too that I must omit, because I am in haste to pass it on to other things, which I am more anxious to confess to you. The other answer you gave her through the mouth of one of your priests, a bishop who had lived his life in the church and was well versed in the scriptures. My mother asked him, as a favor, to have a talk with me, so that he might refute my errors, drive the evil out of my mind, and replace it with good. He often did this when he found suitable pupils, but he refused to do it for me. A wise decision, as I afterwards realized. He told her that I was still unripe for instruction because, as she had told him, I was brimming over with the novelty of the heresy and had already upset a great many simple people with my casuistry. Leave him alone, he said. Just pray to God for him. From his own reading, he will discover his mistakes and the depth of his profanity. At the same time, he told her that when he was a child, his misguided mother had handed him over to the Manichees. He had not only read almost all their books, but had also made copies of them, and even though no one argued the case with him or put him right, he had seen for himself that he ought to have nothing to do with the sect, and accordingly he had left it. Even after she had heard this, my mother still would not be pacified, but persisted all the more with her tears and her entreaties that he should see me and discuss the matter. At last he grew impatient and said, "Leave me and go in peace. It cannot be that the son of these tears should be lost." In later years, as we talked together, she used to say that she accepted these words as a message from heaven. My maternal grandfather was one of the greatest men I've ever known or will know. Strong like an ox, capable, loving, and a wise teacher, though you never felt like he was lecturing you. He had this massive garden at his house, and whenever we would visit, if it was summertime, we always got a tour of the garden. He called it the 5-cent tour. As kids, if we stayed for a while at Grandma and Grandpa's house, we got to help tend the garden nearly every day. My brother tells this story about how when he was about 8 years old, he was walking in the garden with our grandpa, and our grandpa said, "You know, Michael, a tomato that you buy will never taste as good as the one you grow yourself." To which my brother said, "I don't know, Grandpa, I think they're all gross." Our grandpa just kind of chuckled and then went about inspecting the garden. Years and years later, my brother says, as he was driving down to southeast Kansas to attend our grandpa's funeral, he was thinking about that day, and all of a sudden it hit him that our grandpa wasn't talking about tomatoes. He was trying to teach my brother about the value of hard work. And even when my brother didn't get it at 8 years old, he didn't sit him down and lecture him. He knew it wasn't the right time to press it, but he trusted that the seed he planted would bloom in its time. And it did. That's like what we are seeing here with the bishop and St. Monica. Understandably, she wants this bishop to talk some sense into Augustine, but the bishop is prudent and wise enough to know that Augustine's not ready to receive it. The soil in his hard heart needs to soften a bit, and then seeds can be planted. And since the bishop once too was a Manichee, he fully trusts that St. Augustine is going to reason his way out of it because it's just so ridiculous and false. This can be hard for us sometimes. We want things in our time and in our way. But sometimes our way just isn't the right time, and God knows, And other wise people know, people that are a bit removed from the situation. And so the bishop gives sound advice. Just keep praying. Keep interceding that the, quote, son of these tears should not be lost, unquote. That is all for Book 3, Catholic Pilgrims. Next, we will be moving with St. Augustine to Thagast in Book 4. But until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.